Welcome to ISIS in the Bible. Yes, we've changed the name. The whole Bible is about the woman who meets with her son, you, on the stations of the cross, also known as the stations of the zodiac. Our topic of the day is, can you feel me? We'll go over what's happening in the sky, and the question for the day is, what have you learned? Got some great responses from everybody. So what the question was for everybody, and for those of you who watch this video and want to partake, is what have you learned in the last 3 years outside of this group? And then what have you learned from this group? And it's not about me, it's about what you've learned from the content, which comes from a whole bunch of people, because it's not my content, it's everybody's content that I've learned from so many greats. So the theme for this gathering is, have you been listening to the signs you've been given these past 3 years? So thanks for joining us today. Okay, so before we start, I would like to work on number 26. And this was for Jeffrey, but he couldn't make it today. And I thought about him today because he brought laughter. So I'm going to try to do this for us today. Work on number 26 before we get started. So I'm just going to bring in these little memes, and then a phone booth then and now. That's a good one, eh? Positive proof of global warming. That's okay. Laugh. It's good. Laugh. Let her out. The official winner of the Not My Job contest. Probably a lot of you have seen that one, right? Bob, you got to see this guy. He could be your twin. Get a baby gate, they said. It'll keep them safe. People write congrats because they can't spell congratulations. 2 days until payday. Hey, Dad, can I use a lawnmower to make some extra money? You sure can, son. For sale. Posing for a picture, the boys and the girls. That's cute. When you forget to drink your morning coffee. I need that kind of coffee that's so strong when I take a sip, my ancestors wake up. Fitting for this course. My 2 favorite hobbies are smoking weed and rescuing stray dogs. How to prevent your kids from borrowing the car. I got a story behind that one. Today, a man knocked on my door and asked for a small donation towards a local swimming pool. I gave him a glass of water. Reserved for green vehicles. How are we supposed to sample this, and why is she wearing gloves? That one's cute. Ingenious, though. Her side and his side. Yeah. All right, I thought I'd start with a little bit of laughter. Thanks for that. All right. So folks, before we get into this, has anyone heard in which zodiac sign the full moon would be? Anybody want to raise their hand, or you want to go look? Anybody want to jump in? Where's the full moon going to be this month? Does anybody know? If you don't know, Cancer. It's okay. Go ahead.
Cancer. I guess it's Cancer.
Ah, nice.
Or
Is that
Leo?
Alfredo?
Yes, Alfredo. Hi, everybody.
You're absolutely right.
Relate.
It's all good. Divine timing. Yes, the full moon is going to be in Cancer. You'll hear very much that it's going to be in Leo. It's in Cancer, folks. You have to, in order to do medical astrology correctly, you have to know the right sign. Leo is the heart and Cancer is the stomach. And I know full well, because my stomach, I've got the moon in Cancer, and I've had stomach issues my whole life. If my moon was in Leo, it could have been heart. There's a big difference, huge difference. So what mainstream is using, or the percentage, is something called tropical versus what's actually in the sky. So we're always showing you what's actually in the sky because you can now do medical astrology properly. So here's what is happening in the sky on February 5th for the full moon. So some people are doing all sorts of things of what's happening during that full moon. Well, look how many, I just grabbed some. I'm not going to go through these. I'm just showing you that it depends on your chart. It really does. To say the general aspect that Venus squares Mars, okay, yeah, you could be affected, but it all depends on your chart, because there'd be fisticuffing between every woman and every man out in the street. It affected everybody. So it's good to hear that. It really is, but just know that there's so much more happening on that day, a lot more. And now here's what's happening exactly today. It's pretty synchronistic. So at 333 today, Mercury, which is the Akashic record, that's this glyph right here, is aligned with Hygeia right there on the descendant, which is the location that we talked about previously, which is the Southern Cross location, harvest location, because this is where the sun sets. This is where you go to sleep at night. This represents when you go to sleep during your lives. So today, it's pretty interesting that we have Hygeia, the goddess of cleanses, and Mercury. There's going to be more synchronicities that happen that I wasn't aware of. Second thing is the vertex, which is Destiny's Gate, and the part of fortune, lot of fortune. This has to do with immaculate conceptions and divine birthing. I won't go into those, but I'm just showing what's happened today. And at the same time, so that was exact, because this travels really fast. Both of these travel really within minutes. So it's lined up for today. So I'm trying to see if we can get more pulse reading. And Vesta of the Vestal Virgins, which I just did with my brother last night, and I just shared that story with you about how his furnace wasn't working, and he had Vesta. I'm doing this for the other people that haven't heard this yet. Vesta of the Vestal Virgin, which is the fire within. I said, you got something wrong with your fire within, brother. And I went and looked, and Vesta was aligned with his natal moon. And then the moon was exactly aligned with the midheaven. So this happened exactly. Again, the midheaven moves quickly across within minutes. And that was exactly at 333 for today. Another important one is your wings align with Saturn. This is a slow moving one. So this is for everyone. So it has to do with Aquarius, Father Time. So it has to do with your wings, and time and patience as we enter into Aquarius would be the message, so to speak. So I just thought I'd give you that little quick update of what's happening in the sky. Have you heard about the Hippocratic Oath that doctors use? It's important. Did Hippocrates write the Hippocratic Oath? I'm showing you this for a reason. The Hippocratic Oath is one of the oldest and most widely known code of ethics. The original text is attributed to Hippocrates, a Greek physician commonly credited with the beginning the practice of medicine as a rational science. So again, Hippocrates, Hippocratic Oath, and doctors today still take that, and nurses, they take the Hippocratic Oath. Well, here's the famous saying from Hippocrates, but they don't use this. A physician without the knowledge of astrology has no right to call himself a physician. It is more important to know what sort of person has a dis-ease than to know what sort of dis-ease a person has. In other words, if you're just going to look at the symptoms and not look at their natal chart, then you're not a physician. That's why they don't call themselves physicians anymore. They're doctors. So it's really important, people, that astrology is what's needed to do proper medical diagnosis. Couple that with people who see energies, and like Ernie said earlier, you might as well work on your energies before your chart does it for you, which is true, because our chart cleanses us. It's a natural process to cleanse us. So if we're working on our body, our mind, our love beforehand, then the bumps in the road are attenuated. So it's important. So synchronistically, somebody asked me about Pele passing away. Okay, Pele was that famous soccer player for Brazil. I'm not going to go through this, but I'll just say a couple of points. Was actually invited to Academy for Astrological Medicine in their forum, invited to say, hey, what's your opinion on what happened to him when he passed? all his organs failed, and kidney failure was the biggest one. Just some key things. Lilith is temptations. He had very strong Lilith, and he's had many sexual encounters with women. And Lilith was there on his deathbed. All right. Lilith is Medusa, the one who takes your snake away and makes you stone, ice cold. Get it? Juno is exactly aligned to his Hygeia. Hygeia is the one that gives you full body cleanse of all your organs, and all his organs failed. And Hygeia was in his 7th house, which is Libra, his kidneys. Now, one really important thing is the moon was aligned his natal Eris. That's Isis, that's Madonna, that's pure love. The moon was aligned there when he passed. So yes, it's there, but we get to decide when we go. So if people who are ever watching this on YouTube, they'll say, hey, when am I going to go? It's up to you, because the bumps will be there and you've already fixed those bumps. So I can't tell. If you got something going on and you just want to know when it's going to go away, I can help, but just know it goes away. Just look around you. The signs are always there. So medical astrology is real. So again, just quickly, there's a lot of posts going around that around the spring equinox, March 21st, which is exactly March 23rd, they're saying Pluto is going into Aquarius. Well, it's not. That's not what's happening in the sky. You can see right here, the red line, these red lines. On March 23rd, Pluto's going to be about 6-degree Capricorn. It's not going to be in Aquarius. That's why they can't do medical astrology, because they're off. They're not using what's in the sky. I understand totally, and it's in our book, and I've done it, so I won't do it here, on what the misinterpretation of what they did by disallowing the precession of the equinoxes. Things change. So if you want to know where things are at, you can ask. This is from Stellarium. Stellarium is not accurate. It's close, because they're not using the proper positions of the zodiac, but it's close. I got a routine where I add these little yellow marks in Stellarium, so I know exactly where the zodiac signs are based on what's written on the Egyptian walls that we've left behind. All right. So Pluto represents Osiris. Pluto represents you before you were reincarnated, your past life. Pluto represents the father figure. So it's a recycler. So Pluto's in Capricorn right now. He just came into Capricorn a while ago. And that's about keeping 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on the land. The reminder that we need to, as we become the pears that fall from the tree because we're ripening, we have to still keep 1 foot on the land to help others. So I know it's not easy to keep 1 foot on the land, and sometimes be with people who have both feet on the land, because we want to hang out with people who are talking the same talk right now. Same vibration. Thank you. Thank you, Luann. Luann joined us. So just a quick reminder, depending on when you're born, listen to what the women are saying around you. Whether you're a woman or a man, you need to listen to what the women, the divine feminine around you saying, and it can come from a man. And these are when the peaks happen for debate based on what year we were born. Like I was born in 61, so somewhere before February 4th is when I'm going to say, and I'm already feeling it. The messages that I'm getting from my wife, from my mother-in-law, and from other women are incredible. They're guidance, and they may not even realize that they're giving you that guidance. So just pay attention. This is important. So I just want to talk again about the symptoms that the earth is feeling. Just like Hippocrates says, the natal earth has a chart. That's where the tropical gets mixed up. The house system fixed at 0 point Aries for the first house is the natal earth. So the symptoms that the earth is giving, like Schumann resonance, solar flares, earthquakes, all those things, those are just symptoms. We have to know the body, right? Well, the astrology of the earth, we need to know what the root cause is. And the root cause is love is inducing us. I'll keep saying this. Another symptom is your crown getting lit up. But why is it getting lit up? Why is there so much Christ consciousness rising? It's written in the stars. So this is where I'm saying, or the Madonna is saying, Mother is saying, that's what the original image was. See, he's pointing to his ears over there, but he's pointing to Isis. And she's saying, can you feel me? Because we're feeling her, right? It's not if can you feel me, not me, Claudio. No, it's nothing about that. Can you feel her? Can you feel the divine feminine? These halos around the sun are a sign. Look, they're in all the artwork. She's back. It's time for us to cleanse and go back to one love. We're done playing so much human now. We got to go back to spirit. All right. So what comes next is really important. I'm going to ask you if you can get ready and not get squirreled out of listening. So these next 2 slides are for all of us to remind us. Our egos may try to take us away from this path of listening. So I'm asking you all to just pay attention. Don't look at your phones. Just have a look and just listen. And this is not just for those of us that are here at the Energy Center or on Zoom, but it's for the people who are also going to be watching this later on YouTube. Just to take a moment and pay attention. It's important. This is listening in the Bible. You don't have to read this with me. You can close your eyes because there's a lot of text, but listen to the words, all right? This is in the book of Matthew, chapter 13. I didn't write this. This is exactly what it says in the Bible. Chapter 13, why tell stories? Verse 9, are you listening to this? Really listening? The disciples came up and asked, why do you tell stories? He replied, you've been given insight into your own kingdom. You know how it works. Not everybody has this gift at this moment, this insight. It hasn't been given to them yet. And whenever someone has a ready heart for this, the insights and understandings flow freely. They're opening up, right? But if there is no readiness, any trace of receptivity soon disappears. That's why I tell stories, to create readiness, to nudge the people toward a welcome awakening. In their present state, they still can stare till doomsday and not see it, listen till they're blue in the face and not get it. I don't want Isaiah's forecast repeated all over and over again. Your ears are open, but you don't hear a thing. Your eyes are awake, but you don't see a thing. The people are stupid. I wanted to take that out, but I didn't. They stick their fingers in their ears so they won't have to listen. They screw their eyes shut so they don't have to look, so they won't have to deal with me face to face and let me heal them. And that's from the mother. But you have goddess-blessed eyes, eyes that see, and goddess-blessed ears, ears that hear. A lot of people, prophets, and humble believers among them would have given anything to see what you are seeing, to hear what you are hearing. So pay attention. Your ego is distracting you. So this is from the Bible. I changed a couple words just at the end there about goddess. This is in the Bible, folks, and we're experiencing this right now. This is for real. So I'm saying, are we listening? So one more from the book of Isaiah. Astrology. Is there astrology in the Bible? Because I've had many people tell me, you're not supposed to look at the stars. It's voodoo. It's blasphemous. No, it's not. It's right here in the Bible. Look at this. Book of Isaiah, chapter 47. The fall of Babylon. Verse 13. All the counsel you have received has only worn you out. In other words, the stuff we've been listening to in the past. The non-loving stuff, the materialistic. Those who don't know. Let your astrologers come forward. Those stargazers who make predictions month by month. Let them save you from what is coming upon you. So that should not just say astrologers, it should say healers. Because it's not just about astrology. We can see the teams are forming of all the different people that help. The people that see the energies, all the healers. They're astrologers because they can see the light. It's the same thing. So these are all the people that could see the light. These are all astrologers along the bottom. Da Vinci. And now I'm drawing a blank of his name. Hypatia, Hipparchus, and of course Ptolemy, Claudius Ptolemy. And thanks to the gospelcoalition.org, because when I say, where's astrology in the Bible? And right away they said 4713, and I went to Bible Gateway and it's there. So I threw this in there. Choose wisely, grasshopper. Remember that show?